Now that we have things up and running, please join me as I welcome on stage Mercy Johnson, who is going to be speaking to us on the collaborative love story between designers and developers. And I know who you guys thought I was calling on stage. Hi, Mercy. It's lovely to meet you.
Good morning. So we just experienced one beautiful love moment a few minutes ago, and it was really, really interesting. We'll all agree with me that we've had failed moments in life, right? Well, for me, I once had a failed contract marriage during the early stage of my career, and I wasn't really happy with the way things ended because the goal of us coming together was not achieved. But I learned few things, and I took that to my next marriage, and everything went really well. The goal of coming together was achieved, and that's why I'm here. I'm here for a reason to tell you a very interesting story, the collaborative love story between the designer and the developer. Next slide, please. The arranged marriage. We'll all agree that the marriage between the designer and the developer is like an arranged marriage, where two people from completely different backgrounds come together to make something work. In this case, the product. Next slide, please. At the very beginning, it's always very interesting. Everybody telling each other how they love themselves because we are just meeting. You like what you see? Of course, I do. So it's always very, very interesting. But let's find out if this is going to be a disastrous thing or it will be the best thing ever. Let's get to meet the couples. The next slide. Meet the couples. Next. The developers, the logical thinker, they press the toothpaste from the middle. Sharp guy. Let's meet the designer. The very emotional one presses the toothpaste from the bottom. You can see right here that they have a common goal, which is to bring out toothpaste and probably use it, but the approach is different. Next slide. Couples fight. Like the conventional couples, we fight to make up, we make up to break up, whatever. But they have fight because everybody have different approach to things. Developers want to be able to ship out code in small steps and make something really fast, following the agile methodology, while designers want to be able to take a big step forward in a holistic manner. They want to deliver consistent experience. You hear designers talk about, I want it to be consistent, maintain consistency. So this right here can be a point of contention for the two parties because we have a common goal, but our approach is different. If things are not managed properly, it can easily get out of hand. So we'll be looking at things to do in order to make this the best thing ever. Next slide. Conflict resolution. So we want to solve our problem. So here are things to do in order to create a perfect workflow between these two couples. Be open to communication, inclusions in meeting, be open-minded, and knowledge of development. Next slide. Always be open to communication. Developers and designers approach things differently as a result of way to destruction. Next slide, please. Inclusion in meeting is the next one. From the initial kickstart of discussion to the final client presentation, both parties should be included in strategy and meeting planning. Most times you often hear people say they brought designers later after the project have started, we are having issues. So both parties should be included in all meetings. And the next thing is to always be open-minded. Be open-minded to ideas from each other because while working on something, you might miss out a necessary feature due to the fact that you forgot. But if you're open-minded, it can be easily pointed out to you. And lastly, we have knowledge of development. We have this very strong battle on the tech Twitter where you hear developers say designers are just designing what they cannot code. And you hear designers say, oh, he's being lazy. He don't want to go through the right way. He's trying to cut corners. Honestly, having sense of how things work in each other's spaces will avoid this communication. And in conclusion, the designer-developer relationship is a very, very important relationship because it can either make or break the product. Thank you.